First one to break this, you know that, right? You know that, right?
There we go. I'm happy. FightHype.com here with one of the best trainers in the sport, my man Kenny Porter.
Yeah.
And Kenny, what brings you to Los Angeles for this press conference?
Gervonta Tank Davis brings me. I'm here by request, and yeah, that's why I'm here.
How did this partnership come about?
I've worked with Tank before. I worked with him a couple of years ago for the Pit Bull fight. And we did a joint camp at that time with Sean. And everything went really good. I suspect that he was happy with what I did. And it worked out really well for him because, he had a little bit of an injury and he had to use his legs and feet more than normal in that fight. And so I did a lot of conditioning stuff with him that I think he was happy with. And he reached out to me about 3 weeks ago. And reaching out to me about 3 weeks ago, I met with them and we talked and we had some meaningful discussions, and we've been working together for 3 weeks now.
What's, if anything, some of the things you could share with us that you guys talked about when you had that meeting of minds to join the team together?
He asked me if I could pretty much do. How you doing? He asked me if I could pretty much do the things that I have previously done with him in camp, and a lot of that stuff that I did with him was just to give him more conditioning and information on conditioning. He's an ultra talented athlete, and I know that now more than I knew it then, because then my focus was on Sean,
right?
But I was working with him at the same time. And you were actually there, so you've seen some of the things I did with him. But now, in this particular camp, I've had opportunities every day, twice a day, to study him. So I'm studying everything from the way he walks, from the way he throws his punches, to the way he breathes. And we're working on a lot of things. So I created a position. He wanted me to come in and do some certain things. And the Tri-C factor that I got going on with him is cardio, coaching, and conditioning. I'm doing all of those things. So it's working out really good. If this week with the press conferences is really throwing things off, but if we can get back to this next week, I'll be happy. I'll be happy next week.
In Sean's prime, his peak, he had a great work ethic doing these explosive type workouts, and not just the boxing, but like you said, the strength and conditioning stuff. And we've seen Gervonta on the internet with the medicine ball, and he attacks it with great explosiveness and intensity. Is Gervonta as intense with his workouts that you give him as Sean was when Sean was firing on all cylinders? What could you speak to about that?
He reminds me a lot. He makes me think a lot of that time with Sean, but he is his own 100% Gervonta Tank Davis. He is an ultra-talented athlete, and the things I'm doing is just to add on to what Calvin Ford is already doing, just to support what Calvin Ford does, be there in those capacities, as well as a lot of stuff that I do with Tank one-on-one, which our relationship that we're building and have built in a one-on-one aspect is coming together really nice, and it's great to see, to be up close and personal and see that and be able to smile and say, wow, you know what? I don't have to do a lot here and I don't have to do a lot there. He's already got these things. They're already there. We just want to keep sharpening them up and improve what he's doing.
So are you like Eric Bieniemy was with the Chiefs right now? And you know what I mean? And then Coach Calvin Ford's Andy Reid, but Eric Bieniemy was getting a lot of credit as well for what he would contribute to what the success.
I watched him when he played ball.
Right.
I don't know how good he is in the coaching aspect. I've seen some stuff here or there. What I'm doing with Tank is a lot of one-on-one stuff.
Yeah.
And Calvin gives me the opportunity to do that. And shout out to Calvin on that from that standpoint. Also, shout out to Coach Kenny Ellis as well from that standpoint. When they see me doing what I'm doing, they take a step. They continue to work with their other guys, and they let me do what I need to do right there for Tank. and vice versa. When they're doing what they're doing, I just support what they're doing to help to make it even better. Because one set of eyes looking at a guy, for example, if Calvin's in the ring with Tank and he's doing something in the ring with Tank, that's one set of eyes. But he can't watch everything that Tank's doing from head to toe. So now I can study from a different perspective, and then at given times give Calvin, my thoughts on what I've seen.
Is it reminiscent of when you brought Barry in? Midway through Sean's championship fights, and does it say something about their team that at 28-0, 26 knockouts, they're still willing to get outside help and bring it in?
I'm gonna say it says even more about Tank, because Tank came to me personally.
Right.
So, the team, the guys, Kenny Ellis, Calvin Ford, those guys are doing an excellent job. I'm watching what they're doing every day. I'm studying them as well as I study Tank. But I will say it speaks volumes about Tank's maturity now, that he actually came to me, spoke to me, and we had these conversations, and it materialized into what we're doing.
And as for the fight itself, why does Gervonta win this fight, you feel, Kenny? Why is he the better fighter?
Well, you know what? I haven't studied Ryan to say why Tank wins this fight. But from what I'm seeing in Tank, nobody beats Tank. Nobody's going to beat him in this weight class. If he decides to move to a higher weight class, 140, he's not no one. He's got that factor that it takes. Again, when I say ultra talented, like literally we're 45, 44 days out from a fight, and just a week ago, he is as sharp as a guy, 2 weeks out from a fight. He's already that sharp.
What makes you feel that way, that he'll beat any, including a Stevenson, a Devin Haney, that just, he's the cream of the crop?
Well, I'm not calling any names.
No, I know. I'm saying it, not you.
Yeah, you are.
Right,
I'm not calling any names.
Right.
I'm saying what I see of him.
Right.
Of what I'm studying and what I see of him. He's an unbeatable fighter, what I see of him. When I say ultra talented, you got to visualize that in your mind. You got to realize if we're this far along, 45 days to a fight, and things continue in this direction, which I expect them to, 2 weeks to a week prior to a fight, this kid is going to be as sharp as a razor. And, I see him being successful against anyone at 135, anyone at 140, possibilities to do some other things later down the line at 147.
You got in your hands, obviously, not just on Sean, but just about every great American amateur in the last, 15 years? You've gotten either up close with them or literally gotten your hands on them. Is Tank got the potential to be the most special that you've worked with yet in your career?
Well, not only did I have my hands on, some of your top amateurs that I've worked with, the Errol Spencers of the world,
right,
the Charlo brothers of the world, these guys, and I saw them at such a young age and saw the things that they were going to be able to do. They just needed to be focused and stay that course. But, on the pro level, I've been in 2 different camps with Manny Pacquiao, right? I've done camps and done lead in Sugar Shane Mosley corner, and we were successful in the ring. My biggest rival in the amateurs, coming through the amateur system, some of these coaches that I went up against, the top level guys are some of the guys that mentor with me, Andre Ward's coach, B-Hop's coach.
Louis Fisher?
No.
Or Nazim Prince, or not Prince, Brother Nazim Richardson.
Brother Nazim Richardson. When I was competing as an amateur myself, he came to me and said, "Hey, can my sons run with you?" They were little kids at the time. I said, "Nah, those little kids can't run with me. I'm a 25-year-old guy myself at the time. I said, no, those kids can't run with me. And every day he would come to me and say, hey, brother, can my kids run with you? And one day I finally let them run with me at a tournament, and these kids damn near outran me, right? And then we wound up, him and I became the biggest rivals in amateurs. My son against his son in the finals of the national championship. Not once, not twice, but like 3 times we fought to be the #1 guy in the nation.
Rock Allen? Was it his son?
No, not Rock.
Yeah.
He had a younger son, Bear.
Okay.
Bear Richardson. And Bear Richardson was a great amateur boxer. Not good, but great amateur boxer. And we went up against him, and I went up against Nazim. So, yeah, I've seen, I've worked with, I've been around, I've been a part of, I've had my hands on. God has blessed me. I'm thankful, I'm humbled, I'm appreciative. Hey, and my son won 2 world championships, you know?
You got more on the way with Malik, Makai, and Hendry.
You know what? Those guys are doing very well. They're all undefeated. Hendry Cedeno Martinez, kid from Dominican Republic. He just fought 3 weeks ago. He's fighting again next week.
Active.
I fully expect him to be 10-0, and then he's going to television. Malik Montgomery, 15-0, 14 knockouts. He's getting ready to go to TV again. And then his younger brother, Mikhail Montgomery, a little bit of sidetrack, not because of him, not because of me. Yes, but because of some promises that were made by a company that we decided not to work with. But, you know, I'm going to get him in the next 3 to 4 months to 10-0, and then he's going to TV. I may be bringing Hendry in for this camp with Tank and have Tank tighten his ass up.
And lastly, Kenny, thank you so much for your time, man. Talking to certain people around Ryan Garcia around the fight, Bernard Hopkins, Sinisa Estrada, and they're telling me he needs to work on keeping his chin tucked for this fight. Certain important things like that. And I'm asking you, can you really write that between now and April 22nd in the camp if you're Ryan Garcia? Something like tucking your chin, things like that. Or you are what you are at this point.
You are what you are, but you definitely can continue to implore a guy, coach a guy, mentor a guy into creating some things in his mind that makes him, when he makes a mistake, makes him immediately adjust to protecting that situation or correcting that situation. So yes, it definitely can be done. Again, I'll agree with you. Yes, you are what you are when you get this far, but at the same time, these guys are young, so it's not like the old dog can't learn a new trick. These are young guys that can still and should still be learning.
You know, a couple weeks from now, after you watch tape on Ryan, I'm gonna have some fresh ones for you about Ryan, just so you know, Kenny. I'm
fully expecting to hear something from you before that.
Yes.
Also, real quick, you left a jacket. You left a jacket at either the gym or somewhere. When we were in camp, I put it in the cleaners. It's still in a nice plastic bag for you. Please.
Kenny Ford's a good man, man.
Pick that up, man.
I will.
I've had it for a while now. It was too nice to just leave there, you know. I didn't wear it, but it's waiting for you.
You could rock it. I know you could. I might wait 2 weeks after you watch some tape on Ryan, so I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Say, hey Kenny, what'd you think of Ryan? Now that you got
just come through.
Just come get the jacket. All right.
Or let me know. Hey, if you come to the camp, if you come to Tank's camp, I'm gonna make sure I got it with me next week.
Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah, you got it.